Jimmy Fallon, celebrated for his quick wit, tongue-in-cheek humor, and charming charisma, has graced our screens for years, from his early iconic SNL sketches to his current role as host of The Tonight Show. He's won over the hearts of millions worldwide. But in this video, we'll put his affable public image to the test by revealing several startling revelations straight from the mouth of some of his own employees. Facts First presents Jimmy Fallon is a jerk. His employees reveal the truth. How Jimmy conquered the late-night world. Before he became the iconic figure we know and love today, Jimmy was born September 19, 1974 in Brooklyn. He grew up in a world of comedy, often citing his parents' influence on his sense of humor. Fast forward to the late 90s when Jimmy's star was on the rise. He made his mark on the comedy scene with his groundbreaking performance on SNL. Joining the cast in 1998, Fallon quickly became a fan favorite with his impeccable impressions, infectious energy, and memorable characters. His time on SNL, which lasted until 2004, solidified his status as a comedic powerhouse. But it was his charisma and natural talent for entertaining that led him to even greater heights. In 2009, he took the reins as the host of Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, where his unique blend of humor, music, and celebrity interviews endeared him to audiences worldwide. His nightly antics, including the now famous lip-sync battles and hilarious sketches, made Late Night a must-watch for comedy lovers. Behind the scenes at The Tonight Show. Recent revelations published in a rather damning Rolling Stone article from former employees of The Tonight Show painted a starkly different picture of Jimmy Fallon's workplace demeanor than what the public has seen on television. These employees described an environment that veered far from the norm in the high-pressure world of late-night TV. According to the article, the term "bad Jimmy days" had become common parlance among staff, indicating days when Fallon's usual wit and charm were conspicuously absent. During production meetings, he was described as dismissive and irritable, a stark contrast to his usual warm and cordial on-screen persona. One incident, shared by his former employees, especially stood out. Evidently, during a rehearsal in front of a live studio audience, Fallon appeared confused as he crossed out jokes on a script, interacted with the audience, and then seemed agitated and perplexed by the very same piece of paper. Employees were left bewildered by his apparent forgetfulness, with some speculating he might have been under the influence. But it wasn't just Fallon's puzzling behavior on a one-off occasion that has raised eyebrows. Employees asserted that The Tonight Show had fostered a toxic atmosphere for years, starting from the top with Fallon's erratic conduct. This toxic environment, they claimed, had trickled down to its revolving door of leadership teams, with 9 showrunners in the past 9 years. Some went as far as to say that the pressure to maintain a perfect record under Fallon's leadership had led to an atmosphere where one mistake could result in immediate termination. According to the Rolling Stone article, mental health has been another significant concern among employees, with some even reporting severe impacts on their well-being. It apparently became commonplace to hear discussions about wanting to kill themselves as a way to cope with their alleged mistreatment. Crying rooms were notably mentioned in the article, where employees sought solace when upset with their treatment. Former employees alleged that HR complaints had been made, but issues at The Tonight Show had persisted. They additionally expressed disappointment that a workplace that should have been a dream job had turned into a nightmare. Fallon's unpredictable mood swings had allegedly created an atmosphere of fear. On bad Jimmy days, employees had walked on eggshells, avoiding conversations and keeping their heads down to avoid his ire. Employees further recounted stories of Fallon berating crew members, expressing frustration over minor issues, and belittling staff members out of frustration. Rumors about Fallon's relationship with alcohol have gained traction over the years. While he has previously denied these allegations in a New York Times profile, some employees claim to have witnessed him inebriated at work. His behavior had often seemed to correlate with whether he appeared to be hungover from the previous night. Employees went on to describe a sense of powerlessness, with the fear of retaliation keeping many from speaking up. HR complaints had often led to little or no resolution, and some had said they had even been fired after trying to address their concerns. The revolving door of showrunners and the erratic nature of Fallon's behavior has led to widespread disillusionment among employees. In their recent revelations, they described a sense of profound disappointment and frustration that such a talented entertainer had created a hostile work environment. The allegations of mistreatment has not been limited to Fallon alone. Some employees have claimed that the showrunners, including Jamie Gradette-Betterman and Nada Swice, have further exacerbated the toxic atmosphere with bullying, intimidation, and belittling comments. While Fallon has publicly addressed past controversies, employees have shared that there's been an internal uproar over his handling of certain issues. Some also expressed that they'd been disappointed that he hadn't directly addressed the concerns with them. The Tonight Show employees further expressed the hope for lasting changes in the work environment, but at least as far as we can tell by their Rolling Stone revelations, they have remained skeptical about what the future held for the show. At the time of its publication, they expressed that they wanted to see accountability from Fallon and NBC in addressing their concerns to improve the workplace. Fallon's apology. In the wake of the damning expose, Jimmy Fallon and showrunner Chris Miller addressed their staff in a pivotal Zoom call, seeking to address the allegations that had surfaced. The report had detailed accounts from 2 current and 14 former employees who shared their experiences of working on The Tonight Show and the alleged unhealthy work environment that prevailed. During the meeting, Fallon took responsibility and offered a heartfelt apology to his staff. He acknowledged he didn't intend to create the type of atmosphere described in the expose. His words were reported to be seemingly sincere and apologetic, expressing deep embarrassment and regret. Fallon also addressed the high turnover rate of showrunners. He emphasized that the current showrunner, Chris Miller, is a strong and capable leader, indicating Miller's role is secure. Quote, "I want the show to be fun and it should be inclusive to everybody," Fallon reiterated during the meeting. It should be the best show. Notably, representatives for Fallon and NBC didn't comment on the matter, while an NBC spokesperson defended the program's commitment to providing a respectful working environment. As Rolling Stone's story gained attention, an anonymous current employee of the show shared a different perspective with People magazine, describing Fallon as super communicative and a really positive guy. In addition to Fallon's apology, Chris Miller also reached out to the staff. He acknowledged the story and expressed his belief that it did not accurately represent the overall culture of their team. Now it's time to hear from you. Does hearing about how Jimmy Fallon treats his staff change your opinion of him and the show? Let us know in the comments section below.